Hey, Wig, how are you? Hey, Fernando. What's up? Thank you. Thank you for the repost, Chris. I appreciate it so much. Hi. Hello, Had. How are you? Welcome. Hello, Z's. How are you? Hopefully notifications will go out. We'll see. We'll be happy if they do. I think that's a healthy way to be. Hello, Brandon. How are you? Hey, Aegon. Hello, Fire Queen. How are you, Fire Queen? Hello, Mr. Nasty and Starfall. I like the name Starfall. Hello, Jordan Boy. Fire Queen, I am fantastic. Very, very good. I hope you are well. I'm in a great mood. Thank you, Mr. Nasty. And thank you, Fire Queen. I appreciate it. Hello, Claire. Thank y'all for tapping the screen. I appreciate you. Happy Friday. Let me do all the things. Okay. There. Pinned. Happy days, happy days. Yes. Hello, Chris. How are you? I don't know. Notifications might go out. You never know. I love the song. Thank you, Fire Queen. I appreciate you. Let's see. Hey, Divergent Star. How are you? Did you read the interview? Honestly, guys, it's been a hot minute since we had any kind of news that wasn't just, hello, Agent. I'm really good. Thank you for asking. Any news that wasn't just House of the Dragon? Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm going to talk about it. You don't have to. I'm going to go over it. I have notes and everything. Aegon, I did. Aegon, like, by the way, thank you. But, how fun do you think it is to be Ryan Condal right now? That was savage. It's exactly what I wanted there. Hey, Jeffrey. I mean, this isn't my story. Can you imagine? And then his, like, weak-ass response. Like, hopefully we'll be better down the road. Hi. I don't know. Probably not. Hello, Donald. That was probably the most interesting interview from him that I've read in maybe ever. Oh, God. Aegon, you're so right. Hey, Bree. Yeah. Which is basically all it is. You know what? I think I'm just going to start calling it that. Happy Friday. Hey, Darren. How are you? Just going to start calling it the Rainiscent fanfic, also known as House of the whatever that is. Hello, Tom. Hello, Robin. How are you? House of the getting dragged in an interview. I just love the fact, hey, Marlon, that I was speaking very freely about that subject on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, wow, I got more than validation. I got confirmation. Hey, Trip, how are you? Long time no see. Hello, Skipper. What's up? And hello, Julie. Hey, Corey. Low-key would have loved to see a limited series about John being depressed. Okay. Thank you for the repost, summations. I appreciate it. Thank you, Brie. Okay, I have a... Thank you. Thank Submissions. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jeffrey. Okay. We're gonna start out on that because Aegon brought it up. Okay, in case you guys don't know, an interview came out with the author of A Song of Ice and Fire. It's George R.R. Martin, right? Velardo Harris. I'm very well. How are you? And we got more information than we typically get. So, hold on a second. Actually, guys, I made some notes in this book. Hold on a minute. Let me turn to the right page, okay? Wait a minute. Let me make sure this is the right book. I'm such a little shit. Oh, God. That made me happy, by the way. Hey, Jared. Hey, Jamie. Hello. Whew. Yeah, sad John show. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know that it was going to be that damn bleak. And no, I don't know. I don't know Dispatch. But I want to like look at it exactly like the quote of it because I found it really interesting. Okay, so I don't know why. What book are we reading? Hello, Silver, by the way. We were talking about George R.R. Martin gave an interview and gave a bunch of tea. So we're talking about that interview. First of all, there's been a lot of articles that have come out in the last couple days that are either stating that Amelia said she would never have anything to do with Game of Thrones again, or Kit saying he would never have anything to do with Jon Snow. All right. Number one, they're talking about old interviews. Hey, Lou. Hello, David. Oh, Daredevil. That's cool, Daredevil. The thing about Kit said he would not do an audiobook and be the voice of Jon Snow. So it's being taken out of context a bit. Hey, BJ. Hey, Mads. And then the quote of Amelia's that she's not going to be on screen with the dragon is actually Amelia talking about how, like, she basically didn't want to be typecast and stay in fantasy. No, I have not seen Podies, but I'm sure it's very good. Hey, Lordor. No. Are you talking about the cast was happy at the end of Game of Thrones? Thank you, Jordan. God bless you for that. I'd love it. Let them know. No, the cast was not happy with the ending of Game of Thrones. The only ones that were happy were the ones that got the Disney ending, like Sansa, which we could talk about her in a moment. I've had a great week. Thank you for asking. Thank you. So, no, Amelia and Kit were not happy. I think probably right after they felt like that. You know what? I don't know what that is. I assume it's a dragon, so I'm just gonna say Drogon would win. Honestly, how would you feel if you were Kit and Amelia? Thank you for the follow, Dale. But hey, Chloe. Hey, Keith. Oh yeah. Oh no, Drogon's always gonna win. We'll take a nice long break. You deserve it. The big orange dragon thing from Avatar, Drogon would kick his ass. That's my answer. And I stand by that, or sit by it. So, the thing is, for a while, there were rumors of a Jon Snow spinoff. And what's interesting is I kind of thought it was going to be. Well, then I'm right then. Thank you, Silver. Hello, Lady Wind. Hey, everybody. Okay, but yeah, okay, you say that, Daredevil. All right, hold that. Put a pin in that. So there was talk off and on about a Jon Snow spinoff, which I thought was either going to be him finding himself again beyond the wall and probably having a family, or it's going to have something to do with resurrected Daenerys, right? Well, let's just say it was going to be a bit more depressing than that. And I'm actually kind of floored by it, I'll be honest with you. So, actually, Game of Thrones is getting more attention right now than it's gotten in a long time because of this interview and the fact that A Night of the Seven Kingdoms comes on Sunday. Did you? You did? When was that, Chris? Silver. Okay, first of all, you don't have to read Fire and Blood to watch House of the Dragon because it's a different story, which is basically what George said. But A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is going to be fantastic, and you don't have to read the novella to be able to enjoy it. Did I like season 8, Sandman? That's a great question. The answer is no. An emphatic no. I despised it. It made me incredibly sad and frustrated. I put away all my Game of Thrones stuff for 2 years, and I couldn't even look at it. Right, okay, see what Aegon said. Yeah, season 8 was just pile of dragon poop. Okay, this. Okay, so the code name for the show about Jon was Ghost. Like, I would assume it's a ghost of himself. It was supposed to be 8 episodes, right? Here's the thing, though. It was actually going to be about Jon. And I noticed that they still referred to him as Jon, which makes me wonder, right? So the thing is, Aegon, that's because you're awesome. And I'm so happy you're my friend. They didn't call him Aegon, right? Thank you, Jess. BJ, that's probably in the works. Okay, see, Sandman says we don't need an Arya sequel. Okay. I'll say this. Is an Arya, thank you, Jess. Is an Arya sequel what I want? It's not my number one, no. Thank you, Jess. And thank you, BJ. But when we talk about what the Jon Snow series was going to be, I think you're going to be happy they're thinking about doing an Arya spinoff. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Honey, you think House of the Dragon hasn't strayed far from Fire and Blood? Honey, George R.R. Martin said that's not his story anymore. It couldn't have strayed further. Literally, the only thing that's the same are the locations and the names. Thank you, Cakey Cakes. Thank you so much. Thank you. No, it is so far from the source material. It's not even the same thing anymore. I mean, that's literally what this article's about. Is he going to finish the books, BJ? I don't think so. No, not the main series after reading this. And that's just my opinion. Yeah, no, we're gonna dig into all of this. I think he's going to write more Dunk and Egg. I do. I don't think he's going to finish the main series. House of the Dragon is nothing like Fire and Blood at all. All right, let's do one at a time though, okay? Because, you know, my attention span will get all over the place. Okay, so the whole thing about the Jon Snow series is that it was going to be about Jon having PTSD, which is sad. He might split it, hopefully. And Jon was actually, and this is heartbreaking, guys. Jon was actually going to, like, scare off Ghost, his direwolf. So, I don't know if that was going to be a scene. Thank you, Bree. All right. Look, I'm happy you like it. But Silver, I don't think House of the Dragon is very good at all, and I don't think it has anything to do with Fire and Blood. I mean, that's really what this interview is about. I mean, the man that created the whole world and all the characters said that House of the Dragon is not his story. Yeah, it's become a fanfic between Rhaenyra and Alicent. Uh, yeah, there's a crappy vision of Daenerys in House of the Dragon. That again, that's garbage. I don't know what they thought that was gonna do because the prophecy and all this bullshit that's in House of the Dragon is just it's a bad show trying to grasp onto something that was really great. I don't have a lot of hope for season 3 because I'll read to you what George said about it. See, this. It's supposed to be about Aegon and Rhaenyra, and it is not. Yeah, and that's the main thing is Alicent Rhaenyra, and I think that's going to continue into season 3. And it's an already very depressing story, so we're not even touching on, I mean, the whole thing is about the rightful heir. I mean, that's it. I mean, and now it's just enemies to lovers. Or we have long periods of time where Damon's at Harrenhal with having relations with his mom, or Alicent's taking a yoga retreat and floating in a pond. Like, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. But, okay, so it was going to be, all right, so we were going to have Jon, right? And he has PTSD. And at first, George thought that this would be a great sequel. It'd be easy to do. But then you get into it and you dig into it. And it's like, all right, well, what's he going to do? Okay, so what was going to happen is he was going to be living alone as a broken man with PTSD. Having chased off his direwolf ghost and thrown away his sword, which is heartbreaking. Jon spent his time building cabins and burning them back down again. Okay, that right there, I'm kind of puzzled about. Like, that's so damn bleak. That means Ghost is gone. He's gotten rid of Longclaw. He has PTSD, and he's building things and burning them back down. Okay. Harrington also wanted Jon to expire and to avoid being a hero. Okay, that would have been the most depressing thing. Okay, the only thing that would have been more depressing about that for me is if they had done a sequel and we literally watched Daenerys' body decompose. Like, that's it. Right. Throwing away a sword in the north just so somebody can come by and pick it up. What? And what the hell did Ghost do to you other than lose his ear because you put him in the front lines? Y'all, that would have been so depressing. So, okay, here's part of the thing. The story echoed in some respects Harrington's personal struggles. He entered rehab following an intense shooting experience on Game of Thrones. He said he went through some mental health difficulties. We've talked about this before. Like, the ending did not, it didn't do anything for the mental health of Kit Harington or Emilia Clarke. We know this. And I understand, I do. I get the fact that, like, you want to pour some of that into it, but having the most depressing series that we could imagine, I don't think that's gonna help anything. Oh my God, he chased Ghost away because the budget. Yeah. You know what? Probably. Yeah, okay, see. Aw, thank you. Is it Kalia? Did I say that right, or is it Kalia? Let me know. All right. Okay, this is what a lot of people thought the series was going to be. Jon, Ghost, and Tormund doing stuff in the north, and it was going to have some humor to it because of Tormund. Yeah, Sad on Top of Sad isn't very watchable. What Bree said, that's it. I had no idea it was going to be this dark. That's pretty damn dark. So I'm not really sure what the episodes, like, when it was laid out in completion, What do the episodes have? Like, is it one full episode of him just trying to get rid of Ghost, and then like 3 episodes of him like making a hut and then burning it back down? Like, all right, so we can all agree that that is not any. I don't want it, right? Okay, I don't want it. I never wanted it. I never asked for it, right? So the thing is, like, hold on. All right, so George basically like said that like, and HBO actually found the broken Jon Snow idea too much of a bummer and dropped it. Thank God, right? Thank you for the follow. Yeah, Tom, I get that a lot. I don't know. It might be the throne. I don't know. Thank you. Thank you, Nazarena. I appreciate that. All right, so it's not okay. So like very recently, thank you, Jess. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Is it Kalia? Did I say that right? Thank you, Nazarena. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. All right, so it actually says in recent days. Sources say, and I'm sure it's very good sources, a new writer has come aboard to revive the sequel idea. While the story is still being fleshed out, one possibility is shifting the drama to the Mediterranean-like land of Essos, which I need to ask y'all something. And adding another popular legacy character, Arya. Okay, Arya and Essos. All right, let's talk about this for a minute, right? Okay, what did Arya say she was doing at the end of Game of Thrones? She was going to see what was west of Westeros. Okay, so if she's in Essos, thank you, Elgato. How are you? If she's in Essos, either that means she abandoned west of Westeros, or I guess she could have gone all the way around. I don't know. Thank you, Elgato. Here's my thing. What do we think a series of Arya and Essos is going to be? Right, exactly. What's west of Westeros is Essos. Okay, here's my thing. The thing is, okay, Silver, you're right on that. There was time travel. Thank you, Elgato. The last we know of what's going on in Essos, at least in part of Essos, a good part of it, is Daenerys left, and of course Dario's there, and I'm sure he's happy. And they were trying to keep the peace and continue the stop of the slave trade, right? Thank you for the follow, Reed. I appreciate it. Okay. From what I would say at least that part of Essos is probably not doing really well. It's going to be kind of hard just to keep something from happening that's been going on for that many centuries without your queen and without the dragons, right? So the thing is, all right, so Arya and Essos, there's multiple things that could mean. Is she going to go back to the House of Black and White? Is this going to be a series about Arya being an assassin and actually using the tools and the magic she learned there? That's a possibility. I don't see how Arya could be in Essos and them not acknowledge Daenerys. Just because, I mean, come on, like, she did a lot there. So, is it going to be that? Is it going to be her in a different place? Here's another possibility. Could they be doing something that's like the books, but younger Arya did it? Is it going to be her, is like Cat in the Canals? Is it going to be something like that? Right, Brie. Yeah, I don't see how they could avoid it at all. I don't see any possible way they could avoid talking about it. I don't know. I do know at least those possibilities sound better than really sad Jon Snow. I do know that. So here's another thing. One of the series that's been, I think it's been greenlit, is Corlys. Corlys is, yeah, seriously. That's perfect. Corlys's Voyages, it's going to be an animated show. I love that, by the way. When Dany disappeared, everything went back to the way it was, mostly. Silver, we don't have confirmation on that. It was never discussed. Thank you, Atlas. I love you too. Sadly, you're probably right, because how are you going to impose such a big change without the queen and without the dragons and without all of that infrastructure? And like that is something that's going to have to be enforced for generations for it to stop. So, hey Eric, it's just, she inspired uprisings all over us. Exactly, that too. The thing is, like, the books are fantastic, by the way, but we didn't even see, okay, there's a place, it's Volantis, and it's got literally the most slaves of any place. And when they find out what's going on in other parts of Essos because of Daenerys, they're preparing for her. They're sharpening their things. They're sharpening things and waiting for the Dragon Queen. Okay, so, hey, Belfast, hey! I would love to go there one day. I want to go to the studio tour. All right, so, if you, okay, perfect time to have the caller on. But, like, there's going to be uprisings, and then there's going to be wise masters trying to take over again. It's a mess. Like, I don't think Daario is probably the one that could probably keep the slave trade from existing in Essos. So if Arya goes over there, what is she gonna see? Like, are they gonna completely ignore everything Daenerys did and then just have her focus on like being an assassin? Thank you for the follow, Critter Bear. Or is she just gonna walk into disaster? Or, all right, now, it's far-fetched, okay? But I need you to stay with me. Okay, Arya was supposed to go west of Westeros. She goes to, thank you, Atlas. She goes to Essos. Is this them saying that Daenerys is going to be brought back? Maybe at the end. I don't know. She's going to get off the boat and land in Westworld. I can't. Thank you, Critter. It's probably normal now. It's been at least 10 years, enough to fight, win, and rebuild. I mean, that I would love that. I would. I'm not sure she would care. I mean, no, I don't know if Arya would care. I really don't. Hey, Joshua, thank you for the follow, Carlos. I don't know that she would. Arya didn't seem to like Daenerys very much, which was odd. Brie, I'm with you on that. I am. I have to throw that out because that is something that I thought of when I saw them specifically put her in Essos, which obviously, yes, that makes sense, like, because the Faceless Men. But could it be... Yeah, Arya scares me too a little bit, man. I'm not gonna lie. I would not piss her off. The irony, though, because Arya loves dragons, and then they made her, like, look at Drogon once and then not care. It's so weird. But, is she going to be in Essos? Is there going to be a rumor? Anything like that? I don't know. It's a possibility. I have to bring that up because, as most people know, in a lot of fan fiction and a lot of artwork and everything else you can possibly imagine, Drogon takes Daenerys somewhere to the east to be resurrected. So, is it a possibility? Maybe. I don't know. All I know is that that's not a show that I really wanted until I found out what John's series was going to be about. And now I'm like, okay, maybe Arya and Essos is what we did want, and we just didn't know it. What do you think if she came back to life? What's my opinion? And see, look, that the scripts actually say that's where Daenerys was taken. So it's show canon that she was taken to be resurrected, just in case anybody doesn't know. I loved Arya until the last season. Do I like dragons? You could say that, Chef. You could say that. I think they're okay. But I don't understand how you could have a character in Essos and not at least speak about Daenerys. And see, here's the thing though. Like, I've never heard that one. That's the lamest one ever. The thing is, okay, anytime Game of Thrones is brought up on social media, there are lots of comments about season 8 and specifically Daenerys. The thing is, if you put Arya in Essos and you don't acknowledge what Daenerys did there, you're gonna get a lot of pissed off people, because that's gonna be a slap in the face again. And I'll be honest with you, our faces hurt. So yes, Chris, you're the only one that can say that. So I'm very curious about that. I would love, yes, I want her brought back. What do I want for her when she's brought back? I mean, I'll tell you. Of what, honey? A Night of the Seven Kingdoms starts on Sunday. There, House of the Dragon's gonna be, I don't know. I don't know the date on House of the Dragon. I don't really follow it. Yeah. I think it's this summer. I think it's sometime this summer. You talking about a whole season of Aemon at Harrenhal? June or July or something like that. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. No, you're fine, sweetheart. So when I tell you this interview had a lot of tea, that's some of it. All right, so the Jon Snow thing was shelved. The Arya thing might possibly happen. Okay, something else that I found really interesting. Okay, so Corlys. See, now I'm going to talk about House of the Dragon, but only because I have to. Corlys, after the dance, goes on voyages and makes House Valyrian really wealthy. He goes to like Yeti, Lang, Ashai. He even goes to Karth. That's going to be an animated series. So, you know what I wish? I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I wish that would be scrapped. And I wish it was going to be an animated series about Valyria. I'll be honest with you. I'm not that fascinated with Corlys. You know what I mean? Just, of all the things, that's not really something that I'm into. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. So there's all this crap. Look, I don't know if he's going to survive in House of the Dragon or not. They don't pay attention to anything. I mean, I can't speak on it. I can't tell if he's going to survive. I can't tell you if they're going to make these voyages before House of the Dragon or after. It's so far off. You think old Valyria is like the Bible after Eden and before the flood? I don't think it has that much plant life. But, I mean, I really don't follow you on that. Okay, are you saying like sin before Noah's Ark? Okay. The only thing I can agree with that on is I think the Doom of Valyria is a Song of Ice and Fire's basically what happened to the dwarves in Tolkien's works. The dwarves got greedy, dug too deep, and there's a Balrog. The Valyrians dug too deep out of greed, and that's what happened. No. The guy George R.R. Martin's an atheist, so it's not about Satan. Eyes Wide Shut? Are you serious? Are you a troll? You think the Valyria at its height was like Eyes Wide Shut? This is hilarious. Okay, this. Yes, I like this. Yes. There's definitely a part of that. Oh, Valyria is like Numenor and Lord of the Rings. Yes. Yes. You ignore the warnings. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you so much. You ignore all these things. You take this for granted. You're greedy, blah, 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 and then it happens. So, hold on. All right, mods, we're getting hella trolly. Just get them. Yes, I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. I love fantasy. God, yes. I love Tolkien. I loved that before A Song of Ice and Fire. Very much. I mean, passionately. So, thank you, Jules. I appreciate that. So, I'll be honest with you. An animated series with Corlys, I don't know where House of the Dragon is going to put him. He might survive and these voyages happen after, or they might show it as like his history and he's younger. There's no way to know with Ryan Condal. He just does whatever he wants. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Okay, the one thing that would be really good about it is seeing places in the East that we haven't seen before. Ashai would be fantastic. I would love that. But if it was my decision, I would really love to see an animated Valyria. And I don't just want the Doom. I want to see, like, I would love to see the rise of Valyria, peak Valyria, and the Doom. If I could. I would absolutely love that. War of the Rohirrim? It was okay. It was okay. It was alright. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's other stories that could have been told. That was an unnamed character in what, like 2 sentences, I think. It was okay. It was fine. It wasn't like, I don't know. It wasn't my favorite of faves. And I'm just going to be honest with you. That's the thing with me. I'm just going to be honest. Thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate it. Hey, Farmer Paul. Yes, a lot of, yes. It was fine. But when you look at the budget, but then you look at all these other stories that could have been told, it's a little frustrating. That's kind of how I feel about this. There's so many. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the support. It's like, there's so much. I kind of want to just like scream and be like, hey, can we just do this instead? I promise people will like it better. But, you know, it is what it is. Thank you, Brie. Thank you, Jeffrey. Okay, here's another thing that's interesting, right? Aegon's Conquest. That looks like it's going full forward, but here is the interesting thing we did not know that was stated in this interview. There are 2 different directions it can go. At this point, we actually have HBO working on it as a possible drama series. But at the same time, Warner Brothers film team is working on it to make it a mammoth, Dune-sized feature film. Both are going to develop it, and then they're going to make a decision which way to go. I find that incredibly fascinating I'm surprised that so much information was in this. I want it to be a series because I want more and I'm greedy. A Dune-sized feature film. I mean, yes, that would be cool, but I went over this interview with Chris, who's in the chat, and Chris made a really good point. A lot of people want Robert's Rebellion. Now, that's not something that's like really high on my list, but Aegon, do you know when we find that out? Yes, you did make many good points. Yes. Hey, Spock. Hey, T-Dog. The thing is, I agree with Chris. I would rather have Robert's Rebellion be a feature film. Thank you, Spock. And then I want Aegon's Conquest to be a series. Hello, James. I would prefer that. I think that would be perfect. I think Robert's Rebellion is enough for that. 24 months minimum for most. Okay. What is your, Aegon, what is your feeling on that? Are you leaning one way or the other? Do you think it's going to happen? Bree, you like that? Okay. Because, I mean, like, Chris made a good point. Like, people really, really want Robert's Rebellion. So, I think you could do that in a film. I don't think it's enough to be a series. But I think it could be it could be a really cool film. I think it would be fun for a lot of people to see younger versions of characters that they like. And okay, I'll even admit this. I'll admit it. I understand there's a lot. Hey, Alfred. I understand there's a lot of fans of Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire that would like some content, some series, some movie, whatever, that's not solely focusing on the Targaryens. I know. I actually am somewhat self-aware. I promise. Yes, the lore of the DVD extras is epic. I love it. Like, watch it, please. All right. This. I don't want Netflix. They turn HBO into a content house and push out weak products. This is the common belief of, hey, Foxies. Thank you. This is the common belief of a lot of Game of Thrones fans. This. Because, guys, we know Netflix has a reputation of making a lot of series, and just if they don't meet a certain criteria, they're gone. No satisfying ending. Yeah. That's a concern for us. It's a very valid concern, because there's numerous Netflix series that didn't get a proper ending that people still talk about. Yeah, or cutting the budget season by season, like Bree said. Like, people still bring up the OA, which the OA was really good. No ending. They just canceled it. I thought that was great. There's a ton. Yeah, I mean, you just get a little bit and then it's just gone. The Expanse. There's literally probably 20. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, too. Look at this. Even if there's a satisfying ending, then you can't access it. Like She-Ra. And I don't think that's the only one. I think there's others, too. So, if you look at the fandom as a whole, I'm just going to say, when I talk about the fandom, I'm talking about Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon, I'm putting over there. They like to fight, and they can stay right there. Night of the Seven Kingdoms fans, all these people that have never, ever had any at all idea of anything Game of Thrones, and they come in on A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I'm going to welcome them into the Game of Thrones fandom. Yes, I'm biased. I can be. I'm allowed. Thank you. Oh, I love that. Janine, Breaker of Strings. I'm just going to put House of the Dragon. I'm going to, like, punt that right over there. So, Night of the Seven Kingdoms people, come on. It's just a generation apart. You can come hang out with us. That's fine, Alex. You don't have to know anything about Game of Thrones to be here. There just was like hey, Hunt, there's a lot of information that's come out. And then we have a show coming on Sunday. So it's going to be heavy into that. Usually we just talk about whatever. Thank you, Hunt. So, I honestly think that I think we would get more content, but like more doesn't equal better. Okay, oh yeah, I haven't talked about Preston in a while. Yeah, okay. See this. Okay. In this article, they bring up A Night of the Seven Kingdoms multiple times because, I mean, it comes on Sunday. It's repeated in the interview how much A Night of the Seven Kingdoms follows the source material. That's mentioned over and over again for two reasons. One is everyone knows Game of Thrones fell off when they ran out of source material. And I don't think they spoke to George much. Everyone knows House of the Dragon has strayed from the source material so badly to the point that allegedly George said, "This isn't my story," and he was out. By the way, this is the exact same ring that Daenerys wears when she reaches Dragonstone and she touches the sand. Anyway. Yeah, it is. It's kind of embarrassing. So how are you going to make Game of Thrones fans want to watch it? It needs to be familiar, and you need to tell us it follows the source material. Because we're a little uneasy most of the time. Thank you, Nat. Okay. I made a point on Wednesday that I thought that A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, it's going to have humor in it, and some people are going to be kind of like, oh, this is actually funny. Don't forget that Game of Thrones had a lot of humor. It was just spread out over years. And I said that I thought A Night of the Seven Kingdoms was going to have some of the same vibes as when Arya and the Hound had their period of time together. Funny enough, that's mentioned in this article, that it's going to be something like that. Or Brienne of Tarth with Podrick. Okay? Which means it's going to have humor, but it's going to be kind of that kind of humor. Some of it's going to be a little dark humor, but it's going to feel familiar, which I love. Yeah, I know. I know a lot of people want to see the fight over the God's Eye. It's just sad to me because, I mean, I hate what happens to the dragons. It's just sad. I hate the way the dragons are treated and what happens to them. But, as most people know, by that point, Daemon is ready to check out, and he just wants to be done with all of it. Damn, that's weird. I'm great, Asher. How are you? Right. And the thing is, since it's so far off source material, I don't know if we're going to get just a leg or we might just get a foot only. I'm not really sure. Or she might get on that injured dragon and fly away. Like, I don't know. Or maybe she'll fall in love with the dragon. Right. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Oh, thank you. At this point. Yeah, well, that's the thing with dragons, you don't really know. That's why I often say, because George likes to be cheeky. If people ask me what dragon is gonna lay a clutch of eggs, I tell them it's probably gonna be Drogon. Oh God, this. Daemon's gonna yell for my queen and jump off Caraxes. when he's not even speaking to Rhaenyra at this point, and likely having a thing with Nettles, who's not even in it. Look, everybody knows the quote. Yes. Silver makes a good point here. Even bitchy Viserys is pissed off about the dance. In the lore video, he actually narrates a part and specifically like complains about the family and how they screwed everything up. Because, I mean, like, can you imagine being a Targaryen after the dance? Do you know how frustrating that would be? Excuse me. Do you know how frustrating that is? To be like, oh my god, there were so many dragons. You idiots. It's that. Over and over again, that. So, I mean, House of the Dragon's going to be brutal. Unless they decide to just completely... You know what? Maybe they'll have all the dragons pass away off screen, and it'll just end with, instead of having Alicent like losing her mind alone in a room, maybe Alicent is gonna rescue Rhaenyra. Maybe she's gonna put on some armor and actually rescue Rhaenyra, and then they fly off on a dragon together. Yeah, Aegon, that is true. Yes. Silver is correct. The last dragons were no bigger than house cats. That last time, when I was talking about the reason I don't like the High Towers, because I feel like the High Towers have something to do with the Maester conspiracy and the downfall of the dragons and the House Targaryen. The dragons kept getting smaller and smaller. A lot of people think it's because the Maesters were poisoning the dragons. I think it's a combination. I think the Maesters definitely had something to do with it. But I also think that the ego and the pride of House Targaryen led to some of the dragons not being treated the way they should have been, especially Aegon and Rhaenyra. Those are top two. Rhaenyra literally let her dragon sit and get so fat like she can't hunt for herself. Guys, come on. Like, that's not good. Like, you could say anything. If you heard about somebody like having a cat that got so fat it couldn't like feed itself, you'd be like, dude, that's awful. Where did Drogon take Dany? Volantis. I mean, that's it. Do I think that's related to why Euron wants to go there? Euron is crazy and scary, but he's not stupid. There's so much information, and God only knows what, in the Citadel. I'm quite certain there's multiple reasons. I don't think it's only to take down the Maesters. That's probably going to be a side effect for him. That's true. No one does like to admit that. I blame some of that on the show, making him a complete joke, and the whole finger and the bomb thing. Like, good God, what was that? Please tell me. Rhaenyra never had a coronation, and she's not listed when the kings and queens of the Seven Kingdoms, she's not in that list. That's the thing. No coronation. Old Town was the biggest city in Westeros. People thought Aegon was going to rule from there. That is correct. Old Town is huge, old, and rich. Okay, the whole conspiracy with the High Towers goes back to Aegon's conquest. Because the High Towers had the resources to put up a fight, but they damn sure didn't. And a lot of people think that's because they were like, look, no, bend the knee. Go ahead and bend the knee. and we'll take care of them in a different way from the inside. And then you have a maester here and a maester there, and it goes on and on and on. And you have the dance, and then you have someone like Maester Aemon, and he's up at the wall. Why? With all that knowledge. Nah, Silver, I don't think it was that. I think it was a calculated decision. I'll be honest with you. I don't like the High Towers. Like, a lot of people compare House Hightower and House Lannister. I'll say this. At least the Lannisters wanted dragons and a Valyrian steel sword. The Hightowers are just assholes. Yep. This. People think Euron isn't a problem when he deals with magic. Like, this dude's going around collecting magic and collecting God knows what. It's creepy. He's a creepy dude. Like, the thing is, he was such a joke in the show, it's kind of hard to get people to even understand that. You know what I mean? He doesn't even look the same. Y'all, when I tell you, okay, how do I say this? Euron Greyjoy was a really bad person. He did things to his brothers. Does that make sense? He's terrifying. His brother is afraid of him. Like, he has PTSD because of him. Like, he does nasty stuff. He's also fascinated with dragons and Daenerys, which did not play out at all in the series. You had him with Cersei, which is odd. Yes, Euron is the most terrifying character of the series. Yes. 100%. Okay, so, hello, Griffin. I'm one of the people that thinks that Euron was 100% in Karth, digging up God only knows what. I think he's been a lot of places. Do I think he had a dragon egg and got frustrated and threw it into the sea? Hell no. If he got his hands on a dragon egg, he still has it. There's no way in hell. Do I think he has Valyrian steel armor? He might have partial. I mean, a full suit of armor, though, I find that hard to believe. But he might have some. I mean, he could have a helm, like a breastplate or something. I don't know. I mean, Jesus, his ship, the reason they don't tell any secrets is because he cuts out all their tongues. He's terrifying. Hey, Gideon, how are you? So, yeah, I mean, and then he just got taken out like that easy. Yeah, I mean, a dagger or something. But yeah, no, he's scary. Jeez, what he does to the warlocks and everything. Okay. Okay, one thing that I thought was really cool. Yes. This. That's what he wants. Very badly. The scariest thing for Daenerys is Euron. Not the army of the dead. It's actually Euron. Why? Because it's going to be a lot easier for him to get to her than the army of the dead. That is terrifying. I'm great, thank you. Okay. Alright, this is Aegon saying Jenny of Oldstones was a child of the forest. So, also, if you've never seen what Euron was supposed to look like, look it up. You'll find that interesting. Okay, I wanted to say this because I like this. When people talk shit about George because he hasn't finished, alright, fine. the thing is, though, George doesn't have any kids. He has a wife but no children. He has specifically said he considers his characters to be his children. So there's two things you need to take from that. One, he's not going to let anybody else write anything to do with the Song of Ice and Fire. Those are his kids, right? Two, that man has watched 2 series take characters he created that took years, and that it only took a short period of time to have 2 different sets of people make his characters into something completely unrecognizable. I can't imagine. Thank you for the follow, Carlos. I cannot imagine what that must have felt like at all. Not at all. Like, it's so he tried, because I had a lot of conversations with Chris about House of the Dragon season 2, and I was frustrated, and I was like, why is it like this? Is George not fighting for this? I need to know he's fighting. Is he fighting for these characters? Well, he was, actually, over and over again. He tried to write blog posts. HBO didn't want them up. He was there. He tried. Ryan Condal was nice at first. Then he just kind of said, yeah, sure, we'll look at those ideas, like an asshole. And then he just didn't give a shit and didn't listen to George at all. HBO pushed George away. Then they asked him to come back, and he was like, you know what? No. Yes, this is the problem. When directors think they know better than the author. That's what happened to Game of Thrones, and that is what currently is happening to House of the Dragon. Which, it's gone so off the rails. I think season 3 of House of the Dragon, Ryan Condal's an asshole. I'm sorry. He's just an asshole. He's going to double down. If anybody thinks this is going to make him feel like he should go back to the source material, I'm not even sure he's ever read Fire and Blood. I doubt it. I don't think he has. Right. I don't think he's ever read it. And he's got Sarah Hess, and they have some kind of weird relationship. Oh, he's not going to quit. He thinks too highly of himself. Right, Bree. I don't think he has. I don't. Just in case you ever wanted to know why what's happening on House of the Dragon is happening, Ryan Condal, he's attached to Sarah Hess. She's a writer for House of the Dragon. If you ever want to know why, what the Alicent Rhaenyra thing's happening, Sarah Hess was a writer for Orange is the New Black. Piper and Alex. Rhaenyra and Alicent. It's the same thing. Yes. Yeah. Now that should just give you a lot of clarity now. Thank you. What Bree said, when you can only write one storyline. Oh my God, is that Caroline? Caroline, did I see you? Guys, oh my God. This is Caroline. She is absolutely beautiful. She's more than a cosplayer. She embodies the characters that she brings to life. Follow her. You won't regret it. She has created so many. She's done characters from book only, show, everything. She's stunning and one of the nicest people you could possibly imagine. Her content is fantastic. Follow her. Okay, this. A dragon bursting from under 12 feet of concrete would look cool, Sarah Hess. Okay. You have Rainey's on Mayleys. And then Meleys just screams at Aegon and Alicent and everybody. Man, you could have prevented the dance right there. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. None. Makes absolutely no sense. That. Do I think it's going to get better? No. I think they're going to double down and it'll probably get weirder. A lot weirder. I'm curious to know what they're going to put in season 4 House of the Dragon. I don't really know. Hey, Lord Gary. Okay. This is what I wanted to read specifically. Okay, so the guy that is the showrunner and handling A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Parker says he suspects, this is what he says. He suspects Martin, which is George, leaning on HBO and the showrunners to respect his vision is one reason why these shows have done so well. Okay, that's echoed over and over again in this. That's the one common theme to every section of this interview is how well things go when you stay to the source material. How well things go when you have a good relationship with George and you can talk through it. He even says, in my first meeting with George, before I officially had the job, I promised I wouldn't put anything in that he didn't want there. But it's never even come to that. He's pushed back on a lot of things. I explain the reason why I want to do something, and then he would explain his reasons why I'm an idiot. That's what you want. That's what you want. Yes, they should have kept the age gap. 1000%. If you didn't make the world and make the characters, and you're like, hey, I think Alicent and Rhaenyra should have unrequited love, then the person that made all of it's like, that's just dumb. You need to be able to look and go, yeah, you're probably right. You're the one that made all this. Not do what Ryan Condal did and just be completely disrespectful. So, the whole time I was wondering if George was fighting for the characters. He was. He was. He did the most he could. It's frustrating. But, you know, most people don't even know that Alicent and Rhaenyra didn't like each other at all. And it was evil stepmom vibes. There we go. Hear this again. Shout out to him for also filming the show at a consistent basis. They're already deep in season 2. Thank you, Pat. Thank you so much. So, it sounds to me like the guy that Parker is what George thought Dan and Dave would continue to be and what Ryan Condal would be. Honestly. Thank you for the follow, Maddie Gang. I appreciate it. Stay humble. Just stay humble. This man has written so much. And like, come on, man. He's in his 70s. Have some respect. Game of Thrones is like the biggest show ever. It ended really bad. Why did it end bad? They went off source material. So you know what? You know the best way, probably, I would think, to make sure your show stays on track, even if you ran out of source material, probably if you had a nice working relationship with the man that made it. Caroline, I'm so excited. I'm so glad you asked that. I think A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is going to be so good. Like, hold on. I've been reading the interview for a while. These are some notes I took. Anyway, Caroline, I'm actually going to go live on Sunday for a little while. We're going to pregame before it, to get like all hyped up for it. I think it's going to be so good. I think it's going to feel familiar enough that Game of Thrones fans are going to be really like, ooh, All right. I think it's going to be funny. I think the casting is fantastic. The acting looks fantastic. I love the color. And Caroline, I got to tell you this because I know you're amazing with costumes. If you notice, if you go and look at the character, she's redheaded, and I believe she is a camp follower. Go, Caroline, do this. Watch the 2 clips she's in. This. The dress she has on, the shape is almost exactly the same shape as Daenerys' Karth dress. Different costume designer, but a similar shape. It's giving continuity even in the costumes. Like, just go look at it. That's why I recreated it. I'm excited about the costumes too. Would I prefer a Night of the Seven Kingdoms or a show called Bran the Great with Jon and Tyrion in it? Oh, a Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I don't want anything with Bran. And Tyrion is not a good person. I don't want it. I never wanted. I never asked for it. Bran sucks. Oh, a continuation? Okay. Does Bran die? Is Bran dead in it? Does Tyrion still have his nose? Well, there's no Iron Throne in the show. And the lore that follows? What kind of lore? Yeah, right, that. I don't have anything. Unless Jon wants... Okay, if you're telling me there's going to be a scene of resurrected Daenerys showing up on Drogon and scaring the shit out of them, sure. Solo. I have dragons everywhere, honey. Look at my content. I go live with a giant, my giant huge ass Drogon, which I was live with on Wednesday. He is an animatronic. He was made by the people that did the dinosaurs for Universal. He's epic. Thank you, Twin Dad. I appreciate it. Okay, Bran is king and Jon at the Night's Watch. Well, that's the thing. Like, the Night's Watch doesn't exist anymore. Oh, thank you, artist. And how are you, by the way? How would I have ended it? Sweetheart, you asked me to say Dragonflame? I mean, Daenerys only said, thank you, Twin Dad, only says it in High Valyrian once. But I'd be happy. Dracarys. She says Dracarys, like, most of the time. Dracarys. Like, that's, she says it in the common tongue. Okay, artist. I mean, you want just my Disney ending that I wanted, that I knew I wasn't going to get, but... Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you for asking kindly. I love Jon. People think I don't like Jon. I don't like what they did to Jon's character. I want Jon and Daenerys together. I want some silver-haired children. I want the silver-haired children to have dragon eggs, and I want Ghost to be walking around with little puppies bothering him and biting his tail. I mean, I'm sorry. I love them. I want them happy. I want those characters happy. That's what I want. For season 8, I want Missandei and Grey Worm to live happily ever after and have like 19 adopted children that were orphans in Essos. Yeah, Caroline's with me. We would love that. Trust. Okay. I would eat broccoli for the rest of my life. I've answered this question before. Okay, so if I was born into the Game of Thrones, usually people ask if I was just there. The thing is, if you just show up in the Game of Thrones universe, and you're not like one of the great houses, or at least a lesser lord, there's a lot of poor. I mean, in a great house, okay, again, like the lifespan, it's very medieval based. And there's things like the bloody flux. I'm gonna eat broccoli. Yeah. The lifespan is just not there for me, and a lot of women pass in childbirth. Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I'm going for the broccoli. Yeah, I mean it's not gonna be far. You know what? I've got a step stool. I'm good with that, and I've been on a cruise, so. Oh shit! Thank you for that, Aegon. Yeah, there's no coffee, so I mean, the thing is though, like, what great house, what time period, and probably not. I mean, like, I like penicillin, so I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna choose penicillin over that. Yep, the Starbucks cup. I'm serious. Yeah, I'm choosing air conditioning and penicillin and regular warm water to bathe in. Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Yeah, and internet. Hey Phil, I had a very good day. I hope you did too. So yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, and like, hi Gardner Targaryen. I mean, that very good, Doc. That's one of the two I would be all right with. But still, there's no antibiotics, and again, there's the high risk of death in childbirth. Also, arranged marriage. Not really feeling that. Really. I think I'll still stay with the broccoli. And I will, as Marjorie says, admire from afar. Okay, well then why are you asking me if I wouldn't know what to compare it to? The AKotSK. Dude, are you just really wanting to put me in Westeros? Like, man, I'm already sitting in the fucking throne. What do you want? Oh my god, there's a dragon. What? Oh my god, a Targaryen banner. Oh my god. Is that not enough for you, dude? What do you need? What? I'm not really sure what else I can give you, dude. This is real. Thank you, Weirdy. I appreciate it. Yeah. No, I don't want to be in Westeros. Do you want to wake the dragon? If you were blocked, it was for a good reason. I can promise you that. My moderators are my friends, and they're very, very, very thorough. Weirdo. Not you, Weirdy. I'm sorry. I was calling that person a weirdo. Dude must have wanted to like write some damn AO3 about me being in Westeros. See there, Aegon got it. Yeah, they always do. There it is anyway. Hey Johnny, thank you. Like, damn, dude. Right. I think you wanted me to describe my life or something in Westeros. Thank you, Weirdy. Yeah, my moderators are strong, man. Hey, fed up mother. That's wild. Lord help. Talk about a dog with a bone. Give it up. All right, so another little tidbit, and it's a nerdy tidbit, but it was something that I found kind of interesting. Aegon, you might too. Hey, Johnny. So, I was surprised. I knew, obviously, I knew Miguel Sapochnik. He worked on Game of Thrones. I knew he left House of the Dragon. I wondered why. I like Miguel's work a lot. Miguel, like the cinematography of Battle of the Bastards and stuff. So it says in the interview that there was a situation, we don't really know, but there was a dispute where it was Ryan Condal wanted one thing and Miguel wanted another. George ended up going with Ryan Condal's whatever idea. And soon after that, Miguel left. I was very surprised by that. That must have been something early on when Ryan Condal was still on good terms with George and they had a good back and forth. But I do think losing Miguel was one of the 1,000 reasons why House of the Dragon suffered. Yeah, rumors about them clashing. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if Miguel... Well, actually, no, they have. Miguel and George have to be fine because when they were talking about John's sequel, Miguel was involved with that and they talked to George. So I'm quite certain they're probably fine now. And they probably both have the same feeling about Ryan Condal. KGB, I mean, okay, Aegon, you agree? I want to know what you thought. Here's the thing, okay? I'm one of those people, I haven't been screaming for Winds of Winter. You never hear me talk about it much. Why? How the hell am I going to be mad at a man that made my favorite books of all time, who's got a character in it that's my favorite character of all time, that actually changed my life? Let me put it to you this way. If it wasn't for George, I wouldn't have my best friend, Jessica. And I wouldn't have Chris. I wouldn't know y'all if it wasn't for George. How can I ever ask him for anything? Ever. And that's my stance. That's why I don't. I wouldn't know Bree, sweet Bree. I wouldn't. I mean, thank you for the follow, lads. The really cool experiences that I've had and things that I have coming up, all of that's because George was sitting at his old computer or a typewriter. No. If he never writes another word, I'm good. Like, nah, we're all right. We're fine. From what he says in this, it's... Okay, he related it to the author of Dune. He had a conversation with the author of Dune, and, like, he pretty much told George, like, because there was so much pressure on getting it out, more, it took every bit of joy, like, all of it, out of it for him. And that's what's happened with George and The Winds of Winter and Dream of Spring. So, and I was talking to Chris about this because we went over the entire interview because I wanted his point of view because he's more intelligent than I am, even though he doesn't admit it. And I'm really smart, so that makes him like genius level, basically. Thank you, KGB. That... Okay, I have ADHD really bad. I'm either really passionate about something or it feels like pulling teeth, right? Right, that is true, Aegon, and I was going to bring that up. I'm glad you said that. which is very interesting. If somebody's really passionate about something, you can feel it in the work, no matter if that's a painting or a book or anything, a project. If somebody doesn't want to do it and they do it, we're not going to get what we want. Like, if you force the man to finish the series and he's just hammering it out and he fucking hates it, it's not going to be what we want, right? Hello, Spock. Yeah, which makes me wonder, like, if Miguel's cool with George and Dan and Dave, do you think that's weird for him? Hey, Bear Down. I don't know. Aw, thank you, Bear Down. I appreciate that. Thank you. I just wonder. I don't know. If I could ask Miguel something, would thank you, Bear Down. So, how is it to be cool with... At this point... Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. Aegon, let me ask you something. Who do you think George dislikes more, Ryan Condal or Dan and Dave? I'm curious to know what you think about that. So, okay. Oh, God. And then, for the love of God, if anybody is ever around George R.R. Martin, please don't make a rude comment about, hey, man, you're going to die soon. Jesus Christ. Some people are nuts. Dan and Dave? Okay, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. He won't mention it at all. Yeah, Hunt. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of reasons to that, but I think what happened, I mean, Jesus Christ, it's a song of ice and fire. A song of ice and fire. Ice and fire. It's Jon and Daenerys, and they got god-awful endings. You know? Dan and Dave are the guys that were over Game of Thrones. I can't. What is this? This is the music of Dragonstone. Also, the music for Game of Thrones is like fucking amazing. It's so good, and God, I just love it. Yeah. I think all of us hate them. I do. The fact that they can't do any projects together, I mean, apart, they have to be together, is so weird to me too. And you know another thing, guys? Do you know what's happening right now? When Stranger Things ended so poorly, they started doing these comparisons with the Duffer Brothers to Dan and Dave. So you know Dan and Dave are like, great, here it goes again. Yes, Lorador, yes. There are houses decorated for Mardi Gras. We got king cakes everywhere. Yeah, no Star Wars for them. We'll see whatever happens with Ryan Condal and Sarah Hess. Sarah Hess looks like one of the most unhappy people I've ever seen in my life. I don't think she's ever smiled. So, okay. Specifically... So, in the interview, I asked Martin if he's ever considered simply giving up on the book. It's your life, George, I say. You don't have to spend it working on something you find torturous. Now, he doesn't stop and say, no, it's not torturous. He doesn't say that. He says, I would hate that. It would feel like a total failure to me. I want to finish. That's him acknowledging it is torturous to some extent. Lorador, I mean, if it, could it be a dragon theme? I mean, I feel like that would fit. There could be gold, purple, and green dragons. I'm for it. So the thing, and he's not gonna let anyone else finish his work. If he doesn't finish it himself, that's it. So again, everybody that keeps pushing for the books to be finished, if it feels torturous for him, do you still want it? I don't. Angry writing. Because I was telling Chris, Peter David is my favorite author for Star Trek books. And he did a series about Deanna Troi and William Riker. It's Imzadi. And then there's a second one, and then Imzadi Forever. The first book is all of them are well done, but the first book is so damn hopeful, and they have so many tender moments, and it's got a really cool action story going along with it. And then I remember reading the second book and being like, oh my God, like, yeah, they're still cool with each other, but she's with somebody else. Like, what's going on? I found out later on, the first book he wrote when he was falling in love with his first wife. The second book was written during their divorce. And you can feel it through the pages. So I don't want George R.R. Martin sitting down hammering out a book that he doesn't want to write, because we're going to feel that in every single character. And that's not fair to him or the characters. Not a lot of people agree, but that's my opinion. I mean, that's what I think. Hello, Thor. That's my honest belief and opinion. I don't want it. But, okay, let me talk about this little tidbit. The future and possibilities. When George was at New York Comic Con, he made a statement that has been talked about quite a bit. So, people were asking him about sequels, things that happen after A Dream of Spring. He stated, I can't write about what's happening to Jon Snow, Tyrion, or Dany, or anybody after the series ends, because I have several more books to write in the series. And a lot of people have taken that statement, I'm one of them, to mean Jon Snow, Tyrion, and Daenerys survive, because those are the three he said. And he's referencing after A Dream of Spring. So, also in this interview, we find out that he was actually going to kill off Sansa in the books. And because of how her story went in the show, he's debating letting her live. Right? Right, exactly what Aegon said. They're three of the main five. And in his original outline, they survive. Daenerys survives. Jon survives, right? Thank you, Bree. Thank you. I love you. Aegon, this is what I wanted to tell you. Right. Okay, the statement he made about, actually, I was going to kill off Sansa, but I may not now. If you take Sansa and replace that with Daenerys' name, the fucking internet would be on fire. Like people would be freaking out. Right? The fact, because that's where I got sorted. Ask the Hat. Yes, that's it. You've got it. His dick is Lightbringer. It saves her. Perfect. But I found it very interesting that you get this big... Yeah, I know. But I still don't think it's anywhere close to how people would be freaking out if it was Daenerys. So, Aegon, I have something for you. All right, so Chris and I were talking about this last night. And I said, because Chris and I are like, ooh, if he was going to kill off Sansa, I hope he doesn't change his mind. And I said, you know what? Because I think Sansa's going to war. And if anybody says this, I'm so calling you out. Anybody, unless you credit me. I think, because I was like, wait a minute. What if Sansa dies and wargs into a bird? So she lives her second life in a bird, right? Because she's called Little Bird. And we were talking about how the ravens talk. And Chris was saying, be really funny if Daenerys had Sansa in a cage. And then he's like, well, there could be a lemon tree and she loves lemon cakes. So, I had an idea. After that, hold on a second. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to show you Sansa.
Lemon cakes. Lemon cakes.
You're welcome. She's now a bird and all she can say is lemon cakes. All right. What? I hope you enjoyed that. Fuck Sansa. All right. Hey, look. What do dragons eat anyway? Oh, what do you eat? Now you're a fucking bird. No, they haven't. They have not. I like book Sansa. I do. It shows Sansa I have a problem with. Yes. You know, hey, I'm talking about show. I'm talking about show. What do dragons eat anyway? Bleh. Whatever. Good night. Yeah, good night. Cool. Anyway, I thought y'all would like that. And just in case anybody wants to know, when people talk about the main five surviving, it's Jon, Daenerys, Arya, Bran, and Tyrion. And so talking about the books, George says, I was going to kill more people, not the ones they killed in the show. He says that. Oh, okay. They made it more of a happy ending. I don't see a happy ending for Tyrion. His whole arc has been tragic from the first. Tyrion is a very bad person. Dan and Dave love Peter Dinklage, so they made him a hero. Tyrion is a very bad person in the books. Very bad. He also doesn't have a nose. Yeah. So the idea of Tyrion getting this like perfect ending where he's like on the small council at the end, like I'm sure George probably thought that was like irritating and hilarious. Yeah, I drink and I ruin things. Yeah. Or I drink and I assault women. That's probably not as good of a t-shirt though. Probably wouldn't sell a lot. But that's the thing, like if you've never read the books, yeah, Tyrion's not gonna have that ending. That's not gonna happen. Yeah, true. That is true. Yeah. He's sick. He does a lot of nasty stuff. I don't want him anywhere near Daenerys in the books. He's awful. Although, I do actually feel that we will find out that Tyrion is Daenerys' half-brother. What's his ending? Well, I don't think he dies, but he's not gonna have a good ending. So that could mean exile. I mean, yeah, true. I mean, he could be left in the Black Cells till forever. Yeah. Yeah. He's done too many bad things to have a happy-go-lucky ending. Definitely not gonna happen. At all. Nah. So, what am I gonna do now? Oh, hey, country boy. If you would like. Who is this? Yeah, that's gonna be a no for me. Hold on. Well, that's weird. What does that even mean? If anybody that I know wants to come up and talk about this, I'm opening up for that. Although when I click on guest now, I don't see any of my people. So there's that. That's just jacked up. Nope. I love that. Yeah, none of my people. So if anybody wants to come up that's come up on panel before, feel free. I can't invite. Jess, do you want to come up? Christopher, are you awake? Yeah, like I don't even have a list. All I have is like it's a list of like one person that I don't even know. Talk about trash. Chris, can you request? Because I can't invite. Jess, can you invite up?
Yeah, I just invited him.
Man, that's trash. It looks different now too. I think there's been an update. Hello, Slayer. Chris, is there anything you'd like to add to any of this? You're on mute, by the way. Dude, yeah, it won't let me like see everybody at all. Trash.
Well, if anybody else want to come up that she knows, just
Yeah, it has to be somebody I know, not some damn weirdo.
just put a one in the chat and I'll add them and vet people that don't.
Just put a 10 in the chat.
You son of a bitch. Damn it. Oh, God. No. Okay. God, no. We're not doing that.
Put a 6-7 in the chat.
Yeah, put a 6-7 in the chat.
Oh, no, don't you start.
Oh.
7.
6-7.
No.
6-7.
16. 6-1.
Well, if it's not Country Boy. Load bearing 16-inch.
20.
Oh, Lord.
Infantry. Get your out of the gutter.
I'm looking at it like, ooh, that's what it say. Oh, wait a minute. No, he did say that. The pot calling the kettle black.
I think so, yeah. I can accept requests, but I can't invite anybody up. That's trash.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. How are you?
Oh, it's been a crazy, stressful ass week. So,
I'm sorry.
yeah, just one of them.
So, Chris, do you agree with what I said about the books?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Yay. Leave George alone.
As long as he writes out like cliff notes afterwards, like this happens and that happens, and then his characters they fight, blah blah blah. Like I need to know what happens.
Thank you, Country Boy. Not me, right? When you fell asleep, I was writing this backwards. I'm not gonna bring a nerd book up here without having something snarky on the cover. Give me a
I like how
break.
you brought it up.
She survives. Sansa may not.
Dang.
Stay mad. I don't give a shit. The Starks get too much anyway. Tired of it. I'm over it. God, if they had made that Jon Snow series though, it is literally him building huts and burning them down and just staring off into space, like I'd be like,
It's like the Joker, but in Westeros.
God, yes, yes, that. And like, can you imagine like episode 1 is him like throwing rocks at Ghost and telling him to leave?
Well, like from the way they talked, like that had already been done. So like the series was
Yeah.
gonna start off with just no ghosts, no.
But you know there'd
Longfall.
probably be a fucking flashback. I don't think she sits on the Iron Throne at the end either. I think she's gonna go back to Essos. She doesn't really like thrones, actually. She'll take the Iron Throne, but she actually prefers to not sit so high. She likes to be on the same level as her people. Which, I have the Marine throne, which is a bench, but y'all wouldn't be able to see if I sat on it, so it wouldn't matter. Chris has seen it. It looks cool, and I made it myself.
So what's this new series about? I haven't seen it or anything really.
Lordor, you know what? It may not, for all I know, like the Red Keep could be totally gone. It wouldn't shock me.
Well, like as given how strapped for cash they are, they might pawn it.
You know what? If they decide to do that, I might buy it and move it just because, like family and like, nostalgia. I might move it to Essos with the dragon skulls.
Cersei's gonna be over there complaining, like, why couldn't they have made it out of copper?
You know what? I think that'd probably be a good idea because I would like those dragon skulls before somebody screws up and breaks them. So maybe I'll just buy that. I'll buy the dragon skulls and the throne, and then they can have whatever. Just deal with it. They can leave. They can have the rocks. So, Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. What's the easiest way to describe it? It's a much more simple story. It's not as grand scale as Game of Thrones, but that doesn't mean there's not action. There's action. It's character
Not so
driven.
many moving parts, so many different stories going on at once.
Right. Because you're with Sir Duncan the Tall, who is a hedge knight, and his squire Egg. His name is Aegon. And it's kind of like, the part of Game of Thrones where you have the Hound and Arya going back and forth and they have that banter, and it was really enjoyable. It's a bit of that.
Okay.
But
And is it
like he's not mean like the Hound, but he's more.
they both giving each other shit,
Yeah.
but it's entertaining type deal.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be post everything that's happened before, or this is just kind of what time frame?
It's a generation before the show.
All that. Okay.
Yeah. Like, do you remember Maester Aemon at Castle Black?
Yes.
Okay. Egg, the squire, is his brother.
Okay.
And he's a little boy.
Gotcha.
So it's that's the difference. I say a
Okay.
generation, it's more like a generation and a half. So
I think
it's
Aemon's in his late 20s at this point or something.
okay.
which
So
we
it's
may
just
see him.
it's pretty much almost like a prequel to Game of Thrones.
It's a prequel would mean that it would
It's
be
not
a series
followable.
that affects Game of Thrones. It's a side story that is set before
Everyone
Game of
else
Thrones.
comes in the picture.
There's a
Kind
lot.
of.
Like
It's at a time of peace.
Yeah.
So you don't have
Like-
like big huge battles and planning of that and all that. What, Chris?
like when Maester Aemon dies, he like wakes up from that fever dream. He says, "Egg, I dreamed I was old." This is the Egg he's talking about.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. I know I saw it, but I haven't seen previews and I haven't looked it up, and I was like, well, I don't know how if it's a kind of like a spinoff or if it's going to be like before, kind of like House of Dragons way before, but I didn't know what they were going to be shooting for.
Yeah, it's about a generation and a half before, you could say. And so it's gonna seem I think it's gonna seem more familiar. I think it's more it's got more color. Like it's like Game of Thrones, you're a dragon and you're looking down at all this. And a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, you're a horse and you're on the ground and you're walking.
Yeah.
It's like
not as broad scope. Trying to
which
catch
is
everything.
going to be cool because it's different. But it's gonna. I think it's gonna feel more like Game of Thrones than House of the Dragon does, personally.
Well, it gives them opportunity too to tie everyone in as they go along if they continue the series to Game of Thrones, kind of younger versions of them.
No, this is a standalone. It's 3 novellas so far, and it is following. Yeah, it's going to tie some people in. I mean. But it's not, this is not like the beginning of all the main characters of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
It's its own thing.
Gotcha.
Like, there's going to be, like, there's overlap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like do you remember the tree wizard that trained Bran?
Yep.
You get to see him walking around before he was stuck in the tree.
Gotcha.
And then Donk, the Hedge Knight, he's a distant relative of Brienne of Tarth.
Okay.
So there's that. Like,
yeah, I think you're right. It'd be more relatable to Game of Thrones than what kind of House of Dragon is because it's just so much earlier. It's like, damn.
Yeah, and I don't really like House of the Dragon. Yeah, an idea of it zoomed in snapshot of daily life, like small scale. Yeah. And I think that's going to be refreshing. And I think the people that have never experienced anything in the universe of Game of Thrones, the people that watch A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and love it, I think those people are going to gravitate to Game of Thrones and not House of the Dragon. I'm going to welcome them in, actually, and probably tell them to avoid House of the Dragon.
Yeah, I like the first season of it, but the second season it kind of went a little different. I was like,
Yeah. Look, I'll go ahead and tell you everything I felt about House of the Dragon after reading this interview and seeing how Ryan Condal treated George. It can fuck off for all I care. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Tell me how you really feel.
How dare you? When I read all that, I literally felt like somebody had insulted my dad. I was like so pissed. I was like, are you kidding me?
You're going in jest mode. I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I was like, you goofy, smiling little shit. And that's what he is. He's always smiling like a goofy fuck. Can't stand him. And then his bitter buddy, Sarah Hess, that like just hates men. Good for you, bitch. You suck. You're not innocent. Yeah, like what Aegon says, the novellas are relatively short compared to everything else. Yeah, so the season takes its time. Yeah. I made Brie laugh.
Jess, you're far from innocent.
I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to, like, the fact that I know that, like, somebody thought they were so important that, like, George was like, hey, here are a bunch of points. And he's like, yeah, I'll get to it. I might look at it.
Yeah,
Excuse me?
You're taking a guy's life work that made it really good, and then you're like, well, I don't need you because I can do it myself now.
Well, way to go, dude! Because you broke like every season of anything that had related to Game of Thrones had been nominated for an Emmy, and then season 2 House of the Dragon broke that streak. So way to go!
Yeah, arrogance.
Yeah, I mean, when you think you can do better than the creator, yeah, sure, whatever. So, I don't know. Season 3 of House of the Dragon, people will probably like it because it's got a lot of fighting. I mean, what do you think, Chris? If you
House of the Dragon having a lot of fighting?
I mean, what people are going to think about season 3, they'll probably be like, ooh, just because there's a bunch of damn fights and shit.
We're assuming there's going to be fights unless they like just have it all off screen like they did the last time.
Supposedly, no, that it's supposed to be action packed, except for when Aemon's at Harrenhal and ends up having visions and banging his mom, just like Daemon did.
And then Rhaenyra and Alicent keep sneaking around trying to avoid the war, like long after it started.
Yeah, instead of cosplaying a Septa, Rhaenyra's gonna cosplay what, handmaid to sneak in to see Alicent? Brie, I know. Same. She's gonna cosplay what, a knight? I don't know. Hey Bob. So and then what's gonna happen is Alicent's gonna like her dressed up like the knight, so that's gonna set the tone for them just going at it. A banker from Bravos? Okay, Lord, that's hilarious. Yes, that's it. Rhaenyra is gonna cosplay a banker from Bravos. Hey, I'm here to talk to you about your debt. Hello? And then she's gonna be like, oh, my love. And then they're just gonna scissor. And that's gonna be season 3. Look, I don't have a dragon in that race, so I don't care.
I got a bit with like Game of Thrones. What made it so the stories were good and everything as the first few seasons were going, like the followed the book.
Yeah.
And they made it better by not over showing the dragons. It made you anticipate it.
I agree.
So when you did see it, it was like, hell yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah. I've never, like, I know Dan and Dave don't like magic, but I've never had a problem with the fact that they didn't overuse CGI and make the magic look corny. Because I'll be honest with you, what's that stupid show I don't like? Oh God, I tried to read the book and I didn't like it. It was on Amazon. Chris, what is it? The one that I said the magic looked goofy.
The Witcher.
The Wheel of Time.
Yeah, Wheel of Time. The
Yeah, I've
magic
seen
in
that.
Wheel of Time looks so corny. Like it just took me out. Like when you see those swirly things and stuff, and it's like,
Yeah, it looks like we're still back in the 1980s, 90s. CGI
it just looks so fake.
That's what I
It
thought.
removes you from the story. Almost.
I thought like the show looked like an updated version of like Hercules or Xena.
Yeah. I just
Like,
couldn't.
and
I
all
couldn't
the
even do
costumes,
it.
like none of the costumes look worn or lived in. Like in Game of Thrones, it looked like this is something people wear, whereas all their stuff is brightly colored, look like it just come off the rack, and it's very jarring.
Yeah. See, no swirly magic. Yeah. The Dan and Dave downplaying magic, I agree with to an extent. I don't like the fact that led them to not want to do certain things and leave some characters out, but like not having the little sparkles and the swirls and having the muted colors in the fabric, which is what you would have seen, except in like, Cersei's bright reds and stuff. They're super rich. Like I like that, but like what Chris said, like their costumes looked like
Era bound.
something you would buy now, and
Like
it would be
even like when Daenerys had like a brand new dress on, or Cersei had something like brand new on, it didn't look like, it wasn't jarring. It looked like, hey, this is something that they really make in the world. Hey, it looks brand new. Hey, she just got it. It didn't look like something off like the costume rack at Walmart or something.
And see what Aegon said, Netflix also has that problem of fresh off the press costuming. See, and that's a concern. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. They kept
it looks weird.
The fashion colors, they kept it dull like it would have been back then. They didn't make, they did with some of the royalty, which they're supposed to have the brighter stuff.
Because they have access. It makes sense.
They didn't make everybody have it like some people do in stores. You're like, that's not really how they dress. They made it time era specific with all the clothing and everything.
Like that, like literally like having an outfit that looks like it has sequins on it or something, and it's just like, like it wasn't anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Right. And that's what we love. I mean, like a lot of care went into that. Like the design of the dragons, like they went with very natural colors. It just it just makes it feel more believable, which is what you want. I understand because like even okay, in House of the Dragon, like some of the dragons, they're just their colors are described as being brighter, but I can see the reason not doing that because it would be really jarring if everything else looks like kind of natural.
You got to have some kind of difference a little bit here or there. If everyone just saw the same, be like having the same wardrobe, all black suits, and that's all you got. There's no color to, there's no excitement.
See what Aegon said. Oh, they were so good with it. Not many people wore blue, considering the pigment was hard to get. Right, like that was the thing with, and it started with Drogo when he had like the paint on, and then you see Daenerys having blue because that was something like it's kind of like a callback. It was like a with the braids. That's Daenerys still being very connected to the Dothraki and their culture because those are her people. Yeah. I liked that. And then, like what Bree said, magical realism is superior. It is. It is. Like, I couldn't get through the first episode of Wheel of Time.
Well, just think now with AI, how real any movie could be with magic or anything else.
Yeah, but you're still, like, I still think, some are going to do the go over the top and too much and stuff. And, like, I think I'm spoiled, to be honest with you. I think the first 6 seasons of Game of Thrones spoiled a lot of people.
Yeah, I just rewatched the whole thing. Was it a couple? Might have ended just the beginning of this week or something, but I watched it all again because I was like, I'm watching it. Well, I'm gonna watch it. So I rewatched all of it again, and I caught the point where you're talking about when they're taking back the slave cities and stuff, and Drogon comes back, and when she brings him next to him, I see her finger pointing for the land. I'm like, I did not catch that the first time until you said something about it,
Yeah.
and I was like,
I'd like to tell people that so they can go back and look. It's like the smallest little detail, but like things like that end up being like really important and cool. That's what made it epic.
yeah,
Because like that's okay, you can say yes, dragons have good eyesight, but there's also the dragon bond. Like he knew where she was pointing. And it's the fact that he's so big and he jumped right there. And like what's so fucking epic is that Drogon has like these very natural animal like instincts and movement to where when he jumps down, he's immediately protective of her. Like every time. Like when and then later on, seasons later, when Jamie's like coming at her, which is
charging.
really stupid, like she like turns, she's afraid for just a second, and then there's Drogon.
Yeah.
Do you really think you're gonna do this?
Yeah, when they were showing that him riding at her, I remember watching it the first time. Went, you're a dumbass. I was like, you ain't gonna get close.
Like Braun saves him, and then it looks like a puddle, and then when they fall in the water, it
They
keeps
sink.
going. I'm like, HBO still hasn't let anyone use Daenerys's drag. Are you talking about? Are you talking about Drogon? The green Drogon? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, because Aegon said Game of Thrones VFX was top tier for its time. House of the Dragon can't keep up even though it's newer, and that's true. Wait a minute. Oh God, Aegon, you're gonna make me cry. The big giant Drogon, it's his back and it's green. I'm sure you've seen in any behind the scene moment that she sat on. That's Aegon who knows things. Saying HBO hasn't let anyone use it since her. Oh God. Like, see, things like that shit, that's what keeps my tiny little spark of hope alive. That. Ooh, and remind me, I need to tell you. I'm gonna send you a message because I got something that is coming up that I think you're gonna like that I can't really say. So somebody talk about something really quick because I can't do two things at once. Feel free.
Well, for the magic, for the Wheel of Time thing, I think it's one of those things that does well in the book. They just couldn't translate to the screen properly because, like in the book, it sounds the way they describe it. It's like weaving threads of fate or something like, and like you could describe it a certain way and kind of picture it in your head, but when you translate it to the screen, like maybe it could be done well, but they just didn't do it well. But it's one of those things that probably it sounds better on the page and in someone's imagination than actually put on a screen, possibly.
Yeah, well, like I said, anybody reading the book and they describe some magic like that, everyone's got a little bit of different imagination, so that everyone sees it differently. Then when you go to put it on a screen, if it don't look anything like what you're picturing in your head, plus it was like you said, it's not the great, it's not good.
That's also why George toned down the magic in his world, because the main reason he wrote A Song of Ice and Fire was because he was so tired, because he worked on network television for a couple of years, and every time he had a good idea, the budget committee would come down and be like, "Oh, we can't afford that. You have to like either do half of this or half of that or tone that down." And he got so sick of it, so like he purposely wanted to write a series that was unfilmable, that they could never turn into a movie or anything. And well, like a few decades later, technology would catch up to the point where they could. But he also said, even though he wanted to make it grandiose and like way too big and with way too many characters and way too complicated, he'd still toned down the magic, because he said one of his problems with fantasy is, there'll be an evil wizard, so like armies of knights will get together to take on the wizard, and he'll just go, booga booga, and like a fireball will just shoot out and then eviscerate all of them. And it's like, if this guy could wipe out whole armies with one go, then what's the point of assembling an army to fight him anyway?
Yeah.
He's like, sometimes that just doesn't make sense.
Kind of like you got Superman standing there and you got a bullet and you shoot him 10 times and nothing happens, so you're going to dump another 100,000 rounds. It's still going to do the same thing.
Yeah, well, it's like, well, maybe we'll get lucky with one of these.
Yeah, maybe one of these it'd be enough.
Maybe he's got a bullet-sized weak spot somewhere. Just spray and pray.
Yeah. Like, what was it? I can't remember which Superman it was. Whenever the guy's using a minigun, shooting him on top of the roof.
Yeah.
And then when he walks all the way up to him, takes all them bullets, and he takes his handgun and shoots the one at his eye. It's like, dude, you just try to lay him out with a minigun, and it did nothing. You think a .45 caliber is going to do it now?
He's like, well, I mean, I was out of options.
Yeah, I was like, well, try this.
It was either that or bite him, and I didn't really look like, didn't really feel like biting him.
It's like the same attitude of, hey, I got to put this fire out. Well, I ain't got water. Well, I got gas. I might as well try it.
Well, but yeah, you fight fire with fire. Isn't that the expression?
Yeah. I've never seen that work out in real life, though.
That makes me think of that episode of Andy Griffith where Barney's all riled up. He's like, how do you fight fire? And Opie's like, with a hose. He's like, no, you fight fire with fire. Let's go ask your dad. He's like, Andy, how do you fight fire? He's like, with a hose. No, with fire.
Well, technically you can if you burn back, if you got a wildfire. So technically you can, but you can't extinguish a fire with fire.
Yeah, what you can do is like you got to burn the flames. You got to get a hotter fire to burn the old fire to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's like I said, and especially with AI now, I can only imagine some of the sci-fi movies that are going to be start coming out with AI being so realistic. They're just going to have to. And I'm sure they got a lot more money to get the better AI. But, I mean, you see videos on TikTok and everything else, you're like, holy crap, I saw one with a tractor trailer going off the side of a cliff, almost running in with snow stuff. And I go, and as soon as it goes over, I went, oh, that's AI. But it looked real up to a certain point.
Yeah, there's quite a few videos I've come across that look real until, like, it gets that one moment, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's AI.
Yeah, when it came around the corner, hit the stuff, I was like, holy crap. And then went off, the trailer went off at a I was like, that trailer wouldn't bounce with the air and go down. I was like, yeah, that's AI. Like, but damn, that does look real.
Like even the people are starting to look more realistic in some of these AI videos. Like,
Oh yeah,
so far it seems to have almost perfected like buildings and like animals and like vehicles and things like that. But when it comes to people, that's a little bit harder. But it's definitely getting there.
well, it's learning.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the whole point of it and stuff. And I mean, I see like anything else, anything that can be good. Someone is going to use it for bad. So I mean,
yeah.
that's where it's going to get tricky with, hey, here's a video of this guy killing that girl there, or something going on, and take it to court. And if they don't use, only good part is they can use AI to detect AI.
Yeah, you could take like any video that's AI generated and like look into the code stuff in it and tell if it was like artificially generated. But like a bad side of that also is like a guy actually could do that, and then when it gets taken to court, he's caught on surveillance footage. He could just be like, "Oh, that's AI." Like,
Yeah,
like that's one of those things that like if it has to go to court, it you'd hope the truth would come out. Like depending on how corrupt the whatever area they're in is. But
yeah,
but in the court of public opinion, sometimes like you could be completely innocent and all it takes is one person to put a video out like that and your reputation's ruined forever, even though it's like, oh yeah, he went to court, everyone found him completely innocent. Well, there's plenty of people that won't pay attention to that. You'll still have to live with that the rest of your life. Like every time you go somewhere, somebody be like, there's that guy.
well, yeah, just like anybody else gets accused, you're like, oh, we've caught the killer or a suspect in a certain killing or something else, and they bring him in, release his name and everything else, and they go, oh, nope, that actually wasn't the guy. He was just a person of interest. It's like, well, you've already ruined it.
We caught the butthole tickler.
You just ruined it for the guy.
We caught the Bermuda butthole tickler.
Maybe that's why the people that make it out of there never talk about it, because that's what happens.
Yeah, what happens in the triangle stays in the
Stays
triangle.
in the triangle.
No one leaves the Bermuda Triangle, not even for a vacation. The Adams family taught me that.
Sir Dantos definitely deserved it. He really didn't deserve better. And his family kind of sucks too. But that's funny. I'm just saying. I mean,
I still want justice for Lord Beesbury.
nobody cares about.
You can't bury the bees.
No one gives a shit about Beesbury at all. None. Nobody. Nobody even knows who he is. No one.
I don't know who that is. That's what
Nobody knows.
What?
No one knows who Lord Beesbury is. Nope.
We need justice.
No.
For Migraine Frey.
Look at Bree saying me neither. Look, no one gives a damn about Migraine Frey either. Nobody. Nobody gives a damn. No one gives a damn about Migraine Frey. Nobody gives a shit about Kermit Tully.
We need justice for Cookie Monster Tully.
No one gives a damn about Big Bird Tully. No one cares about Cookie Monster Tully, Oscar Tully, Miss Piggy Tully. No one. No one gives a damn. No one. Like the most obscure, just no.
Justice for Lemon Cloak.
At least Lem, okay, kind of has, some stuff going on. I mean, Migraine Frey's whole purpose, like, you didn't even do what you were supposed to do, and then you just complain.
He had headaches. I mean, if you had a head like that, it'd ache too.
Just, who gives a damn? Like, I like, yes, it's cool that it's like this little tiny character that does something, but like the thing is, like, why would you care like long term about, I don't know, like fucking Rhaegar Frey?
Justice for Chet's Boyle.
Oh, justice for Craster's wife that like just basically said, you know, we're good.
Yeah, they would just burn the house. It's like, where are you guys gonna live? Like,
Actually, we
I mean, I
made
understand
a
they had a
good
lot of
deal
bad
with the
memories
Night
tied to the
King.
place, but
Well, the Night King actually has a palace kind of like Elsa's. We're actually gonna go there.
oh, that could be the thing. Like, since Daenerys is the bride of fire, they were gonna be the brides of ice,
Yeah.
which is just a poetic way of saying they went out in the snow and froze to death.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I told you. I guess they went to Mole's Town. I guess.
Justice for Sir Puddles.
No. No. How about no? Justice
He
for
just wanted a baby.
Justice for Valerian the cat.
Yes.
I knew you'd agree with that. Mean asshole cat. How old is that cat by now? That's an old ass cat.
Close to 17 years, probably.
Damn.
Or no, 14 years, 15 years.
Let's see. Wait, I'm trying to think of another one.
Are these
Justice,
all characters from? Sorry, go ahead.
Justice
From the
for
book, yes.
Okay.
Illyrio's statue.
Yeah, for real. Like, I don't think I could look. I'd have to melt that statue down. I couldn't look at it.
Magic dragon bonded cat. Hell yeah, Brie.
Justice for Sarah's hands.
That's creepy.
No, you got it wrong, Chris.
Oh,
It's
look.
just for Nero's leg and foot.
Yeah, justice for
Justice
that.
for
Well,
Rhaenyra's
actually, the rest of
leg.
our body, technically.
Chris. We got
Yep.
we got a comedian. Hey,
That's what the
Curveball.
British vampire. That's what British vampires do with tampons. It's tea time.
Oh,
Oh God.
it's disgusting. That is foul. Foul. Abomination.
Hey, justice for shitmouth.
Hello, Mickey Cole.
I didn't know you had a donkey.
Wait, your ass. What happened to
That
your
was
ass?
bad.
It sounds like he gave it up.
Dude,
All right, funny guy. You can only go so far, though. Why don't you reel it back just a little? Okay. I get it. You're a funny troll, and that's fine. But you're on like a level 8. Why don't you bring it back to like a 6 and you can stay? Or if your goal is to be blocked, just let us know. Dude, that guy earlier was mad. He's like, why did I get blocked? Move on.
he wouldn't let his plane. Like you said, ate broccoli in 10 million different ways.
Dude, like, he was obsessed. What, you want me to role play that I live there or something? Like, what do you want?
He can play Skyrim.
Like, ask me about that guy after the stream.
Okay. I'll remember.
No, you won't, but I'll remind you to remind me.
Thank you.
Hey, he ran. He ain't say nothing else. He ain't got no more jokes.
Justice for Edmure Tully's tunic, the only one that he gets to wear the whole show.
Yeah, they really. Well, no. They put him in rags whenever Jamie gave him a bath.
Shit. Oh, he seemed legit person that slowly wanted a fanfic. Yeah, that's it, Bree. It's like he wanted a damn fanfic, and I'm like, what? Like, dude, I've said the same thing. Oh, no, no, no. But you're in a great house. Okay, still no. But you're gonna be at Highgarden or a Targaryen. Okay. Broccoli.
Justice for the questionnaire.
Ugh. Justice for
Small Paul.
actually, maybe.
Like he was oddly enough, out of all the mutineers, he was literally the only one with brains.
Yeah, true.
He's like, what about Mormont's bird? What about it? It's a talking bird. What if it tells on us?
Justice for Mormont's bird.
You know, I don't think they ever named it. It's just Mormont's raven.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Justice for dog.
Yeah, dog was a good dog.
He was a good dog. Or
Justice for
bird.
duck.
Justice for duck. Justice for Zara's dancing boys.
They're out there dancing it off, and they don't get enough credit.
Nope. Justice for what's Penny's pig's name?
Pig.
Pig. Justice for pig.
Justice for pig.
Justice for pig. Justice for all the rats for the rat catchers. Yeah, that. Justice for that damn dog that got kicked.
Justice for Gatehouse Amy.
You know what? I agree with that. Justice for Gatehouse Amy, damn it. Justice for what's her name? The sailor's wife.
Yeah.
Justice for the
Black Pearl.
Yeah. Well, justice for Viserys' scalp. That yes. Wonder what happened to that crown.
That's another thing that they should have kept up with, because like having a throne made of swords is cool and all, but I would have had little busts of all the kings like heads in the throne room and have all the crowns I took to resting on their heads as a reminder as well.
I like that. I like that. That'd be cool to see too. All the different crowns. I like that. The dog made me sad. Like, why'd you make the dog such like a major character and then we don't see him again? Like, that sucks. Strange choice. That whole thing was strange there. Justice for Justice for Vere's female wolf.
I mean, we all gotta have hobbies.
That's a dark hobby, man. That's dark.
Justice for Zalabar Zo.
Yeah. Definitely that.
I'd say justice for Piet Pre, but he already got his.
Yeah, fucking Pre.
Every time Bree comes in the chat, I think that. Bree.
Trying to think really obscure.
Well, hey, I got to jump off here, but I may swing back in if I get a chance.
All right.
All right. You all have a good night if I don't talk to you.
Holla.
Good night.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. It is 10:30, and I have just been told that I need to take Gumdrop outside. So, we're going to take our leave of you. This was very fun. Thank you.
Justice for Gumdrop's bladder.
We're about to come here. Gotta go. Right on time. So, yes, tomorrow night,
Yeah.
always a pleasure. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Hunt. This is my best friend, Jessica. I call her Jess. And thank you, Bree. And she's going to be live tomorrow night with her insane FYP. Okay? We will all be there. It'll be sometime around 8 or 8:30 or 8:45 or 9. I could have said like between 8 and 9, but why would I do that? So,
Or around 6-7.
6, 7. So we will see you guys tomorrow night. And then don't forget, on Sunday, we're going to pregame for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have some fun stuff going on with that. It's just going to be a good time. It's going to be very lighthearted. And I think I'm going to, I'm going to have some fun facts about the story and stuff. So we're going to get all hyped for it. It's been a minute since we've been able to get real hyped up. So we're going to have a very good time of it. I'll have a theme and everything. We'll get really into it. It'll be fun. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night with Jess. And then Sunday, I would assume Christopher will be with me when we get hyped for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So we'll see you guys then. We love you. Everyone have a good night. And fuck Beesbury, right?
Yeah, yeah.